Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I am Monique and this is Monique Speaks. So you see me looking at in this picture right here. You see me? I don't know y'all, but I think it's war against the Gen Xers. And let me tell y'all what I'm talking about. You see her right here. A plant in Chicago shut down abruptly. A Pepsi plant. The Pepsi Cola plant. The trucking plant where Pepsi, you know, the Pepsi Cola. Now, let me tell you a little story about Pepsi Cola, what I know about a Pepsi, okay? Northerners from up north, we drink Pepsi. And down south, they drink Coca-Cola, which they call a pop, okay? But back in the day, when there were the soap operas, the daytime soap operas, I think they came on from 11:30 to about maybe 1:30 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. My aunties and them would be all sitting in the living room and we watched Channel 7 News. Channel 7, where I think it was All My Children, One Life to Live with Jesse and them, Erica Kane and them, Adam Chandler and them. You know what I'm saying? They would be, now what does this have to do with this? I'm getting to it. Just bear with me. They would be drinking a Pepsi, whatever was in there to eat. And sometimes they will be smoking a Newport cigarette. I don't condone smoking cigarettes, and most of them have stopped. Congratulations to y'all. But that's how it went. Everything was a Pepsi up north. And down south, it was a Coke. But y'all, it ain't Pepsi no more for these people over here. I think it's war against the Gen Xers. Let's listen to this video footage. And you know I'm going to come back with my commentary. Let's listen.
Frustrating for many of the workers here. Like you said, they showed up to work and within, they say, just a couple of minutes asked to go home and try to very quickly find a new job.
No notice, none of that. Blindsided.
Eric Gadsden has been a Pepsi truck driver for 21 years. That was until he was notified showing up at work this morning that Pepsi will permanently close the 51st Street facility in Chicago, effective immediately.
I'm the sole provider in my household. And, you know, my wife has MS. My daughter's about to go to college next year. So I can't put into words what I feel right now.
Gadsden says he was just 9 years away from retirement, but now was forced to start from scratch elsewhere.
Wow, let's pray for this man. He'd been working there for over 20 some odd years, 9 years from retirement, a husband, a father, right? Sole provider. And that includes his insurance. His wife has MS and his daughter's getting ready to go to college. Do you know the stress on this man right now? They gave no notice. They didn't give, by law, they're supposed to give notice. They didn't even call. They didn't even send a text message. They did nothing. People came to work. They said, we're closing effective immediately. Okay, so is this war on Gen Xers? And is this the reason why you see people on YouTube talk about, I quit my 9-to-5 job, I'm tired of working? Because people who have put in time on these plantations, put in time on these jobs, excuse what I said, put in time on these jobs, and this is the things that they get. Okay, blindsided companies, big corporations. This ain't no little corporation here. Big corporations, not even abiding by law, because by law, I think it's over 75 employees. You're supposed to give at least 2 weeks notice and through the federal, but they ain't even paying attention to that. Let's finish listening to what they have to say. But I think it's war on the Gen Xers. That's what I see. And that's why you got Gen Xers out here like myself, doing videos and just trying to figure out how to make it, of course, with the Lord. A
statement from the Teamsters Local 727 union, who represents the workers here, says Pepsi's late notice is in violation of the WARN Act, which requires employers with 75 or more full-time employees to provide 60 days advance notice of pending plant closures.
So they didn't even abide by the federal law called the WARN Act, where big companies with 75 or more full-time employees are supposed to give at least 60 days notice. They gave nada, yet. They just said, we ain't, your job is done and finished, okay? That's what they did.
Mass layoffs, calling the decision disgusting and a disgrace.
Being 58 years old, it's like starting all over again. It's going to be hard.
58. So I know I'm interrupting. Y'all show me some grace. It is like starting all over again. And that's why some Gen Zers are like, what? This man has worked there. He's the sole provider. He was like, okay, I'm going to do my 9 years and I'm going to zip on out. It may be very difficult for this man to find another job at that rate of pay. And not to mention his wife has MS. So do you know what COBRA payments look like? COBRA payments are no joke. Okay. Like he said, it's like starting all over again. This is a man's man. He's a sole provider for his family, taking care of his wife, and his daughter's getting ready to go to college. Shoot. It's war.
Gadsden says more than 200 people work at this plant. He says Pepsi has agreed to continue pay and provide benefits through the end of December, but says this experience is going to take all of his faith to get through.
My message to my coworkers is, God closes one door and opens up another, and it might be better.
Now, just a couple of minutes ago, we got this statement from Pepsi saying this is a more than 60-year-old building that has physical limitations. They went on to say our plans meet applicable legal requirements, and we will actively work with union leadership on the details related to the closure. Now,
what kind of response is that? That seemed like a very odd response to me, where they said this is an over 60-year-old building and it's not meeting our needs. You know what I think is happening? I can almost guarantee that this particular plant, they got some more offers. This is just my belief, in my opinion. I believe because in a lot of these areas are being revitalized, and I believe this plant is going to turn into either apartment buildings or a shopping district. That happened here in Georgia. If you go to Midtown, there used to be a company over there right off of Marietta Street, the Midwest Vaco was a plant. They done turned that into apartments and all that. That company had been there for years. So I'm thinking the reason why they're saying this is a 60-year-old and it doesn't meet our needs, somebody wants to buy it and turn it into some apartments, some townhomes, or both, or a mixed-use facility. That's just my thoughts on this whole situation, okay? That's why they didn't care.
Pepsi is expecting to have a second meeting today with more employees today at 2 p.m. to tell them the news. In addition to that, the union tells us that they have proposed a meeting time with Pepsi this Wednesday.
So y'all, even if you are in a union, back in the day, a union did mean something. It don't mean nada no more, because these big companies are just violating, some rules and regulations, even the union rules and the guidelines. So having a union, look, it don't seem to be helping. These people came to work and they are out of a job, blindsided, like he said. This is war against the Gen Zs. Okay, is it the Gen Zs or the Gen Xs? Let me see. Let's see. It's the Gen X's. And I'm going to do a video on, the different labels that's going on. But you see my face? I'm not impressed. It's war, y'all. That's why you got sir, what's your name that just got laid off? Get on YouTube. Let us hear your story. Tell us your story. Show us your family. And maybe you can get monetized somehow. But don't forget, first and foremost, to pray to the Lord and ask him to help you. Okay? And then after you do that, I want to hear your story. I watch your videos because he's going to need his insurance. They talk about, we going to pay your bills and give you your payment to the end of the year. What's going to happen at the beginning of the year? His wife is going to still need her prescription. She's going to still need to go to the doctor. His daughter still, they don't care. Do you see my face here? They don't care. It's war, y'all. War against the Gen Zs. I think that's what it is. But I really, really think deep down that they want to build some mixed-use townhomes, a co-op, a condo, something on that land. That's why Pepsi was so quick and said, here, we closing it down. They done probably closed. Look, if you dig deep enough, you'll probably find that the property has already been bought and sold and closed on, and they had to get up out of there. Right up underneath their noses. So look, y'all. A job is wonderful to have. I don't recommend people just quitting their jobs and just doing whatever. Have a plan, or if you're going to get on YouTube, have your job and get on YouTube. Do it at the same time simultaneously. But don't, you know what? Don't put your eggs all in one basket. Because the basket you put it in might be pulled right from up underneath you. And these jobs ain't loyal. It's war, y'all, against the Gen X's. All right, y'all. I'm going to report back on this story because there's some more to this story, and I'm going to see where it goes. Let me know what you think about this. Came to work, no notice, blindsided, 20, 30 years of working, and nothing. No compassion, no nothing. It's a business. I believe they done sold that property, y'all, and they about to, look, I believe they about to knock that stuff down and build some high rises and stuff. What y'all think? Like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell. It's war, y'all. War against the oh, this is horrible. It's not funny, but this is what's going on all over the place. And it ain't funny. Okay? So it teaches you, don't ever be so sure that you're gonna be able to keep that resume up to date. Keep it up to date, because you never ever know. Blindsided. All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. This is Monique, and this is Monique Speaks. Don't forget to hit that little bell, and that way you'll be notified of all my uploads. Crying shame. Talk about they gonna give them their benefits to the end of the month. How about you notified them before you did this? All right, y'all. Peace, and I'm out.